All right, so Shooter of the Year, known pro, Christopher Perkins. You made it interesting, but how does it feel right now?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's kind of been long overdue. A couple of years ago, obviously winning 3 of 6 is just, yeah. So I know it felt good. Today was just, the last few targets, a bit of a struggle there, just starting to hit a few inches to the right there, and put some clicks in, was fine after that. But
Well, let's not talk about the negatives. Let's talk about the positive. Shooter of the Year, man.
yeah, no, it definitely feels good. So I'm happy to capture that one.
So, I mean, this division, I think everybody would agree, this is a stacked division, so that's got to feel good. I mean, you guys, you shoot against these guys every week in different venues, but still, that's got to feel like something to come out on top of this group of shooters.
Yeah, you got to have your A game at each event. You've got to put 2 really, really good days together, and just do that the whole season. Obviously, we can drop one of our bad scores in the season. So I had a 36 upper, I think, somewhere around there in Kentucky. So got rid of that one, which was good. But yeah, no, there's a handful of guys in this group, in this class, that can lay it down each weekend, and you just have to be on your A game.
What do you do coming into each week knowing Justin Hanna, Kyle Douglas, all those guys are right there, Jesse Broadwater now? What is it? Do you do anything coming into each week to get ready for that kind of competition?
Not really. I just make sure my setup is good and obviously play my game. Like you said, yeah, those guys are laying it down each weekend, and you just have to focus on your game and not to worry, not worry too much about them. But I don't really do anything different. Like I said, I just make sure my setup's good and myself as far as mentally and just kind of do my own thing.
So now we can check off known pro shooter of the year. What's left on the Chris Perkins resume out there that you need yet?
I think the only thing I have left, excluding World Archery stuff, is in Indoor Nationals.
Indoor Nationals. All right. Well, we're here now at ASA. Congratulations, known pro shooter of the year, Chris Perkins.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Okay, Shooter of the Year 2021 Senior Pro Tim Gillingham. Tim, let's start with, how's that feel to get Shooter of the Year here?
Well, actually, it feels pretty good. It was, Jeff was ahead of me, and I struggled, seems, in ASA, throughout my pro career. I always seemed to have 2 bad tournaments, and, going into, was it Metropolis, I was trailing Jeff pretty heavy, and, I worked real hard at it and, tried to get back in it, got back in it, shot real well there, and we were neck and neck all day yesterday, and I wasn't, we got within 3 once, I think, and then he shot a few 8s and I got 12s at the same time, and it was kind of over then. So today I started out a little bit better. I was sighted in, I can play a little bit, I still want to try to win the tournament, it still pays more than Shooter of the Year, so, you got to refocus, I guess.
How many is this for you in Senior Pro? Is this your first or your second?
I'm not sure.
In Senior Pro?
I may have won them all. I don't know.
Didn't you? Well, Michael Braden was last year. I know that. And
You know what? I have struggled. I don't remember. It all runs together. If you worry about that stuff, it just keeps you from winning the next one.
Where does this fit in for you? I mean, you shoot all kinds of archery, all archery. Where does Shooter of the Year for ASA fit in your resume of things?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just all it is to me proof of a consistent year, consistent performance. A bow that's not failing you. Top quality equipment, good yardage judging.
Say that part again, Tim.
Good enough yardage judging. Yeah, I mean, it's still frustrating when you miss them. I mean, it's fun when you know how far they are. Sure. Yeah, it's a great game.
So it sure looks like, as much as we hear you talk about judging, it looks like you're pretty good at it, though.
I could do anything I set my mind to. So.
All right, Tim. Well, congratulations, 2021 Senior Pro Shooter of the Year.
All right, thank you.
All right, so Shooter of the Year. We're here with Women's Pro Shooter of the Year, Cara Kelly. Cara, we were just trying to add up how many, but let's talk about this one. How does it feel, 2021 Shooter of the Year?
It feels awesome. I had a baby last year, and I made a commitment. My husband and I, we both went on a diet program this past fall, and I lost about 25 pounds, a lot of inches, and was really committed to getting myself back in the game after having that baby because he kicked my butt. Number 2 kicked my butt. And so and it's made a huge difference. I'm not going to lie, with how I aim, just my steadiness. It made a huge difference for me, seeing that weight go away. So yeah, I'm thrilled beyond belief. I think it's honestly one of the toughest things to win. I mean, ASA doesn't make it easy. Right. So, I mean, you gotta bring your A game, especially against these girls every week that we shoot. So.
Were you feeling it this weekend? Was that your goal? Did you want to win? Where was it in your game plan for this weekend?
I had a pretty substantial lead, so I kind of just let it go. That was not my focus. My focus was on making good shots and putting together a good tournament here at the Classic, and hopefully everything would just fall into place. So I was pretty blessed to be able to do that at this point in the season, so that felt pretty good. It was just kind of hanging out there.
So 18, 19 were the last 2 that you won, and we think this makes how many?
7. I believe.
Where does that fit, Shooter of the Year, in your resume of wins? Where do you place Shooter of the Year titles?
I think it's one of the hardest things to win, period. I mean...
In any form of art?
Any form of archery, no matter what type of, no matter what we shoot, But I think ASA Shooter of the Year is extremely difficult. You got to bring it. You just got to bring it. And it's something that I think every one of us set as a goal to do every year. So I've been blessed to win 7 as a pro woman, and I think that's pretty dang awesome. So I'm pretty pumped about it, and it takes an army. It takes an army to do what we do, and huge commitment. And I pull the kids around in a stroller, and my husband's puts together the time he's at home busting his butt in the shop right now as I'm here. So it takes an army, family, and support systems to do what we do, and so to be able to do it with 2 kids now feels pretty good.
All right, Cara. Well, congratulations, 2021 Women's Pro Shooter of the Year.
Thank you.
All right, continuing with our 2021 Shooters of the Year for the ASA, we're here with our Open Pro Shooter of the Year, Dan McCarthy. How does that feel?
Feels awesome. That's it.
You put a lot of emphasis on this. It's when you get to that point, you had a good lead coming in, but as you said, it's always in the back of your mind because Levi's out there. How does it feel when the deal is sealed?
Feels good. Honestly, we talk about it because you guys always ask us about it as the season goes on, and you don't really think about it much because it is just one long event. It's accumulation of scores throughout the whole year, and it takes care of itself if you take care of yourself. And so you don't really think about it, but it's in your mind because of the purse that's involved with bonuses and stuff. So you want to capture it, you want to win it. It feels great. It was a goal of mine this year to try to go out and get. But at the same time, I really want to win this event. And now that that's over and done with, I'm mentally moving on into now I can relax and focus on task at hand here. And
this is how many Shooters of the Year for you in Open Pro?
This is my 3rd.
Okay, so for people who don't understand,
like my 15th second, probably. I don't know.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. For people who may not understand, talk about what it takes to have that level of consistency against these guys.
Well, I've like last year, for instance, I lost by a point. Me and Levi, after accumulation of all of our scores throughout the year, there's a 1-point difference. And I think after throwing out your lowest score, I think he ended up winning by 4 or 3 for the overall. But that's how close the season was for a whole year. 6 events or 7 events. Doesn't matter. It usually comes down to just a few points. I think this weekend it was no different. It's 25 or 26 points after throwouts. I threw out my lowest score for the year. I threw out a 1st place finish. And so it's You really, it's so competitive. I mean, you have to be pretty consistent, and that's the thing is that I've got a second at the first tournament. I've won every other tournament after that, and it was still kind of nerve-wracking because after the throwouts, it was within 19 points, which is, if I shoot 5.8s, he shoots 5.12s on those targets. It's tied. He's ahead. And so it's a nail biter all year, and it's something there that's kind of you don't want to screw up, you don't want to make mistakes if you're trying to play for that, but at the same time you really have to bear down and try to win the events too.
For you, in your resume of wins, where do you hold ASA Shooter of the Year?
I don't put a whole lot of emphasis on titles for anything. I mean, I do this for a job. I want to come out and I want to win stuff, but and someday none of this stuff's gonna matter. So and it doesn't. I want to win them, but yeah, really on the scale of life things, like
Not on a scale of life things, but archery things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's another thing. It's a hard, very, very tough thing to win, especially with guys I'm shooting against. It's very hard to win, but so is all these events. They're all tough.
All right, Dan. Well, congratulations, 2021 ASA Open Pro Shooter of the Year.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, PJ.